Welcome to S Class, the highest tier in podcasting. I'm your host, Justin, and today I'm joined by the number one ranked basement dwelling demon, Ryan, and the Hashira of mouth breathing. It's Robert.
That is incredibly insulting to the
I
both
was
of
pretty
us.
proud of that one.
Also, I'm
That-
not in the basement anymore, Justin, but I appreciate the title.
Oh, damn. I thought I nailed it.
No, I've been
Wait,
asking
Ryan,
for a
are you
while.
living in the main floor of your grandma's house now?
Um,
Why the hesitation, Ryan?
I was just taken aback by that comment. I'm living alone in my bachelor pad in Manhattan. I have no idea where that came from. But yes, I do come to the basement sometimes still for work. It's now my office.
The
Oh,
basement
you have
of
a
your.
basement in your Manhattan apartment?
It's a duplex.
Gentlemen, what are we
What?
talking about today?
The Ben Stiller movie Duplex that released in 2003?
Is that a real movie?
It is. It's
Jesus
yeah.
Christ.
It's atrocious.
It's mid-thousand Stiller's weak era.
Guys, what do we rank Duplex today?
Yeah, S tier.
S
Five.
tier?
5 out of 10.
That's
Ryan,
not even how we rate things,
That's
Ryan.
not how we rank it.
Oh, then the D tier.
Okay, guys. Today we're talking about Demon Slayer Mugen Train, which finally came out in theaters a few weeks ago. And Ryan, you saw it before both of us. You're actually the reason why me and Rob decided to go see the movie. Do you want to just, before we get into the actual movie, how was your movie going experience? It's the first movie that we saw since the pandemic. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, my friend surprised me with tickets for opening night, and I was like, "Oh shit!" And there were a lot of people there, but they were there for the dub, and we went to the sub, and there was like only like 5 other people in the whole theater, so it was great. And none of them were doing that whole on TikTok. TikTok now, there's that meme where when the Toei animation or the Funimation thing appears.
The little water splash thing, right?
Right, yeah, then people are like, Eren Yeager or Deku Yusasi Baka. Yeah, none of that was in my theater, and I was very grateful.
I did not even know that was a thing.
Oh, it's big on TikTok. There's a lot of it. It's bad. But the movie was great, and my experience was actually great.
Rob, why don't you tell Ryan about our movie going experience?
Okay.
It was literally just me and Justin. There was not a single other soul in the movie theater. It was amazing.
It was literally like, all right, I'll get into how I feel about the movie, but it was literally the best movie going experience I've ever had. Have you guys ever had that where you go and there's no one there? This is my second time.
No, not like this. Not where it was literally just, the person I was going with and myself. I've never had that.
The only other time was like 20 years ago. My parents, both my parents, which is like a rarity in and of itself, took me and my sister to go see Rugrats movie number 1.
Oh,
And it was just
And it
the
was just
four
the
of
four of
us.
you?
All 4 of us. And they must have wanted to kill themselves.
that's
Was
a
not
sad
Rugrats
movie.
in Paris?
No, Rugrats in Paris, great movie. Rugrats with Dill, terrible movie.
It was very sad and melancholic. That's all I remember.
Yeah,
No,
that
the
baby
second
fucking
one was
sucked.
much sadder.
No, the second one, Rugrats in Paris, is great.
I feel like it says a lot that we're talking more about the Rugrats movie than the actual movie.
Doesn't
that we saw,
Rugrats
though.
in Paris have a kaiju fight?
It does. Rugrats in Paris is a better movie than Demon Slayer.
I'll take it. No, wait, no, wait, no way. I thought you were talking about the first Rugrats. Okay.
All right, let's get started. Ryan, first thoughts on the Demon Slayer movie.
I knew what I was walking into, so I was very excited.
So both of you guys have read the entire manga. I have
Yes.
just watched the anime. Is that right,
Ooh.
Ryan?
Yes.
Okay. So you guys, you knew what you were walking into. Did it hit your level of expectations?
Yeah.
I thought the pacing was a little slow, but the animation was great as expected. It definitely dragged a bit to me.
They dragged the dreams a little bit.
117 minutes. Definitely could have been like a 90-minute movie, I thought.
Maybe not 90, but definitely they could have trimmed a lot of Tanjiro with his family. They took their time, but to be honest, it just the whole time I was there, it was refreshing to see like watching an actual canon story arc on a big screen with a movie level budget.
No, that was definitely cool. I really did appreciate that, and I hope this kind of sets a standard of what they'll do for shorter arcs in anime series. Just go like all out, putting full effort into like a theatrical release.
It's like a top 20 best-selling movie of all time now or something like that. Like, there's money in it, so they might continue to do something like this.
Right. Um,
Aren't they doing this with Titan?
no, that's no. They're doing another season. But
Oh, okay.
Justin, what did you think? Because Rob and I came solely for the Akaza fight. That's really, as soon as I sat in my seat, that's what I was waiting for this whole time, and I knew that wasn't coming till the end. Were you aware of that
I
fight?
had I literally had no idea what I was walking into. So I've just seen the 24 episodes of the anime maybe a year ago,
Yeah.
and then I was like, how often do we get to see anime movie in theaters? I mean, last time we did it was just the three of us seeing Weathering with You. So I was like, no, I'm excited to check this out. So I had no expectations.
So what do you think of that? Well, I guess we'll talk about the movie, but I'm curious to hear your thoughts from an anime only perspective of, oh, that Enmu wasn't the real big boss. It's this level 5 demon.
Um, to be honest, like overall, I was like a little bit disappointed. Like Enmu kind of felt like he kind of felt like a throwaway. Like his narrative felt kind of weak. He just wants to be honestly. Enmu and Akaza both felt pretty narratively weak. Like Akaza just wants to fight people and he wants to be strong. It's kind of like generic shonen strong bad guy kind of vibes. And Enmu was just like creepy, and he kind of felt like a throwaway. I didn't really feel threatened during the movie by Enmu.
I'm just
That's my personal
I
thoughts.
just thought of this. Rob, Enmu is one of the few demons. Did we even get to see his backstory in the movie?
No, that's right. And I think to Justin's issue, the problem with Demon Slayer is we don't really get any backstory on the demons until after they're dead.
Right.
Yeah,
Because
this
I
is.
actually love Aksa, but that's going
Am I
spoiler
missing
territory.
something for Akaza? Like, am I gonna like him more because of some depth later on, or
Yes.
is this is about as well as I'm getting?
Well, you got a little bit of it. Um, because I think there was, despite him coming out of nowhere, I think there was merit in their whole fight itself because Aksa appreciated Rengoku, even though they were literally on opposite sides of the spectrum in terms of what strength means.
I thought you meant a different spectrum. Because Rengoku's on some sort of spectrum. That's the first thing I said to Rob when we walked into the
Oh
movie.
God!
I was like, "Are all of the what are they called? Are all of the Hashira
Ashura,
like that?"
a little off.
A little
Oh,
bit
when he
interesting.
yeah, they could have saved 5 minutes if they cut like 3 or 4 delicious.
No, I would not trade that for the world.
That was awesome. I actually like that.
It was charming, but it was very interesting to start the movie off like that.
They're quirky. But what was I going to say?
You we were just sorry I cut you off. We were talking about how you liked Akaza before.
I mean, when I first read it, I was still like, "Oh crap!" I kind of knew Enmu was a throwaway too because you have to remember that it's an upper or lower level demon,
He's the best lower level demon, the number
right?
one ranked lower
And
level
even
demon.
though he got a one ranking like upgrade, it was only one of his eyes said
Oh,
one
that didn't mean anything to me. Like I
because
didn't realize that made a
that
difference.
diminishes his power
Okay.
drastically.
Yeah, I didn't get any of that context from the first 24 episodes of the series.
Well, no, you could, and then you can also see it in Enmu's eyes when they close in. I'm like, oh, that's right. He only got since he inherited an upgrade, he's not fully accustomed to the strength, and he can't utilize it as well. That's what I got because Aksa had both eyes with the 5.
Okay, I didn't realize that. I think Akaza is also number 3, if
Oh,
memory serves
three,
me right.
three. Yes, he
Yeah.
is.
Rob, how do you feel about Enmu and Akaza?
I mean, for me, my entire time reading Demon Slayer, I couldn't really care less about the villains. The villains did nothing for me. I kind of just enjoyed the main cast and the Hashira and was kind of just going along with their ride. And for me, the villains were just that stepping stone to get to the next, plot point.
Yeah,
So I don't really care about them. Um, and they're not the best example of a good, interesting villain. Until the movie, I'd completely forgotten about both their names in existence.
I had to look as you guys both know, we had to look up their names before we started this podcast because we had no idea.
I mean, I'm
Um,
terrible with names to begin with. Like, I never remember the names of anything. So I'm not a great example, but I don't think I can tell you the name of a single villain in Demon Slayer, even the ones from this movie, and you guys have said them at least 20 times during this conversation.
I,
I
there were some backstories that I really loved, but then again, I binged the manga, so then again, that's where my memory
I
faults.
Ryan, Ryan, you watched the anime as well?
I did. I was actually very hyped for the movie with the end of the Demon Slayer season one because they did a great lead up to this movie.
And Rob, did you watch the anime?
Yeah, I did watch the anime. But I read from the start of the manga, then I watched a bit of the anime just out of curiosity.
Okay, so for me, since I only watched the anime, I feel like this felt like this could have been 3 episodes. It didn't feel necessarily like something spectacular movie level when I watched it. Like the animation was great, don't get me wrong, but was it any better than episode, what is it, 19 of the series? For me, not really.
I think the movie budget shines in not being bombastic in its flair like episode 19, but rather they had a better budget to cover up the CGI.
I didn't think the CGI in the main series was particularly bad though.
Yeah, but there were the Enmu's whole train demon thing really required a lot of CGI.
Right.
There was no getting around that, and I think they did a great job covering
Yeah,
the flaws
I
of the CGI slime worms and stuff.
yeah, that
Um,
wasn't bad at all. That was it's barely noticeable for me.
and not gonna lie, I think the fights were actually pretty long in the movie. I think they were dragged out
Oh,
um,
yeah.
Definitely.
in a good
That
way.
I mean, that was the issue.
Oh, you're saying this in a good way. I think me and Rob were both on the side of it was maybe a little bit too much.
No, they dragged out the
Yeah.
slow moments, but I think they dragged out the action sequences, which made it more enjoyable.
I wanted more of Zenitsu's dream and Inosuke's dream, and we only got like 30 seconds combined of both of those.
Those are very funny.
Well, those were only 3 panels in the manga too. They weren't really that long either. They
I know, but if you're gonna extend something, extend that.
Inosuke and Zenitsu's were the best. Inosuke was so good in this movie too.
I mean, Justin hates Inosuke, but I love him.
I hate Inosuke and Zenitsu, but I thought their dreams were very funny. And also Nezuko was top tier with the head patch, super cute.
Mm.
Always.
When she tries to bat his head awake and she bleeds and then she cries.
Yeah, she was fantastic.
Justin and I
And
started cracking up at that scene.
uh, let's talk about Rengoku a little bit. I was go ahead, Rob.
Justin, I remember like you asked me, like Rengoku, like how does he rank among the Hashira as in terms of being interesting characters? And I was like, oh, this is the top tier. This is the best of the best. And you were like, oh,
Oh,
this is it.
it's just so okay. So by the end of the movie, after his fight with Asuka, like he gained some points for me. I like him. He's nothing special though. I mean, he feels kind of like a little bit generic. He's a really good guy, and
He was the
there was a moment where I thought he might betray them, which was really good. They did it really well in the cinema, where he keeps like teeter tottering when Asuka keeps offering him some demon power. But he's nothing special. I mean, I
I
think
don't think he wait, you think he wavered? I don't think he ever wavered.
not that he wavered, but the way the movie kept
Oh,
directing
the
it, like
cinematography like established like the pauses.
yeah, the pauses, like it built up a really good tension, which I thought was very good. And then he
Yeah,
kind
that
of stayed firm. So he's very likable, but he's nothing special. Like his personality is kind of lacking.
Now, let me offer the counter to that, Justin. I think the issue with watching an entire arc at once, and as much as I enjoy the concept, is that you're not spending as much time with Rengoku. When you're reading, week to week or just even, binge reading, you're going to be with him for a week or months on end in terms of, reading week to week. But in a movie, you're introduced to him and then an hour and a half later, he's gone.
Here, I'm gonna counter you and say, when you binged the series, did it really take you more than a few hours to read his entire arc when you binged it?
well, here's the thing, you don't we still the next season's going to start with his father and little brother. You're going to see pieces of Rengoku mentioned in the future of Demon Slayer.
Okay. But Rob, to your counterpoint, did you spend weeks with this character?
Did I spend weeks with Rengoku? No. But that
So
is once again because I'm a filthy, filthy, terrible speed reader.
I mean, that's all of us though. Anyone who's reading something that's already been completed or has a big chunk done, we're just going to speed through it. So that's why I think I'm gonna read the Demon Slayer manga because it's on my resolutions from earlier this year. But hopefully, I get a better experience. You seem to have liked him better after from reading it.
Well, once again, that's because Ryan and I have both finished the series, and a lot of the characters in Demon Slayer are more appreciated as the series progresses, even
Because
when they're
everyone
out of the
else is so
story.
bad.
No. There's a lot going. Demon Slayer is very good with callbacks. I will say that, and references and little details. Now, I'm not saying she's a genius, but there are some good moments that definitely add more dimensions to Rengoku's character in this case.
I always forget that she's a woman who wrote the series.
I mean, we don't know too much about the author of Demon Slayer, so
She's pretty well shut in, right?
it's very mysterious.
Yeah.
It's even speculated what the gender even is. I mean, some people seem to think that it's a woman, but nobody really knows for sure.
What is she,
Oh,
Enmu?
I mean, there's just a weird thing with mangaka in general where you don't know anything about these people, even though they're like multi-millionaires at this
Right.
point.
Um, what's it called? It is. It was really awesome seeing them work together with Hashira, though, in terms of story. Um, like, well, I think it really started spicing up when they awoke from their dreams.
yeah,
Well, yeah, that's the problem though. The whole dream thing just wouldn't end.
it was very long. I mean, it was. I enjoyed the dreams, like even Tanjiro's. Uh, that was kind of like tragic, but yeah, I mean, you have a point, Ryan. It does get better once they wake up. But
Right.
even but my problem was like I don't know. I feel like you don't get to see anything new. They all just sort of do the things that I've seen them do for 24 episodes against a villain who I don't really care about. There's no new technique. There's no new development for any of them. That's why for me it just felt like another episode. And the
True.
only thing that really shined for me was the fight between Asuka and Rengoku. But besides that, I was like, it's kind of generic-ish.
Well, I
See,
mean,
I
this
thought
arc
that.
is Rengoku's arc. That's the thing. This
Yeah.
isn't really about them. This is
I
about
know,
kind
but
of
we
showing them
spend
how real the, demons are when you have like this all-powerful, amazing Hashira and they're all mind blown by him and then he's
yeah,
dead.
and he's taking care of 5 train cars by himself.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, all that great, but they spend about 60% of the movie with uh Tanjiro and Inosuke fighting Enmu, who gives a fuck about him?
Well, no, but that's important for their strength. They still have to get better.
Did they get better though? Is what I'm saying. It just felt like another episode to me. It felt like another monster of the week, and that's where I feel like this movie overall falls short.
But
And
but I will say we did see Tanjiro and Inosuke tag team.
yeah, I mean, it was cool.
Um, and
Rob, you got something to say?
Well, I think the overall problem though, Justin, is that you don't like these characters. Like
that's a great point.
Ryan brings up the point, we got to see that tag team. I like that because I like Inosuke. But you don't care about any of these characters, so you're not going to appreciate a tag team. You're not going to have fun with that.
Maybe that could very well be it. That my baseline enjoyment of them is not high.
I think you just hate fun.
That could be it. That could very well be it.
I mean, Inosuke is just a stupid, funny, like crazy character, and you're just like, I don't like him. He's too obnoxious. He doesn't do it for me. You're just like,
No. My
you don't know
part,
how to have fun.
the reason why I don't like Inosuke is that his involvement in the crew is so inorganic. They're just like, we just need to throw some crazy dude in here. He comes in, he meets them like 10 episodes in, and he starts trying to start a fight with them. And all of a sudden, he's part of their party, and they're like, oh, yeah, he's our buddy. It's like, dude, he was literally trying to kill you like an episode ago. When did you become friends?
Well, he also was the mysterious fifth one that didn't appear when they passed their Demon Slayer initiation test.
I don't give a shit.
Well,
And
I
that's the
actually
problem.
do. I like where
The
Inosuke.
problem is that what you said, Rob?
Yes, that is the problem.
That's a
I could
great,
very well be the problem.
that's a great flaw in Justice's perspective, but that's his bias. I actually enjoyed Inosuke throughout this movie. I love how he called that the whole train was the big bad enemy.
No.
That
I
was
think he was
hilarious.
all things considered. I think Inosuke did great during this movie. I just think that him as a character is kind of like whatever for me. But I think he did great during the movie.
I actually liked his growth and development a lot with Rengoku because in the beginning he's like, "Who the hell is this guy? Screw him!" And then by the end he's like, I hate him, and he's so cool. And I did shed a tear when Inosuke cried after Rengoku's death. That was what hit me. It wasn't Rengoku seeing his mom. It was when Inosuke, what did he say? He was like, "Don't
He
cry,
said
just keep
he's
training."
telling Tanjiro not to cry. Yeah.
Right.
While beating the shit out of him.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't know. Inosuke has a. I don't care what you say, Justin. Like I haven't seen a dine. Sure, he's basic in his plot device or plot use, whatever. But I love it. I don't think I've seen a more unpredictable comedic character like him in a main shonen.
I just think he's neat.
Rob, you haven't really been spouting too many opinions. How do you feel
I don't know. I mean,
overall, or did we miss anything for you?
no, I it's hard to say. Like the movie itself, I enjoyed the spectacle of it. I enjoyed the experience of going back to seeing a movie more than anything. So I think I was a little lighter on it than I would have been in the past, or if I had just watched it on my computer. But
Right,
like I just enjoyed the experience of seeing it.
because of me, right?
No, it had nothing to do with you.
Oh,
And yeah, it definitely dragged on a little bit. And Demon Slayer as a whole isn't, it doesn't deserve the top selling,
it
accolades
doesn't
that it
deserve
has.
90 million volumes sold in
Right.
a year.
But it is also perfectly serviceable and a very enjoyable series. And I think the character designs are fantastic and the animation is fantastic. And I'm just here for a good time.
I
I'm
like.
usually very critical. I'm usually very negative. But you know what? No cynicism today. I had a good time.
Rob, I think you told me this when I started. Like, it's very basic. It's a basic shonen, and you got to walk in with that mentality to just appreciate the little things it brings to the table.
Yeah, don't expect to have your mind blown, but it's gonna do shonen very well, and it hits a lot of the typical shonen story beats. It has, like I said, great designed characters, and you know what? Just have fun with it. Not
Yeah,
everything has to be so serious, Justin.
I don't hate it by any means. It's just nothing special is what I'm trying to get across. Like I don't
Yeah,
think
that's
it's
what we.
bad. I think it was beautiful, but it doesn't light me on fire inside. It doesn't do anything
It
like
didn't
that.
set your heart ablaze, Justin.
It did not, Ryan. Did it set your heart ablaze?
Kind of. I will. No, it did set my heart ablaze. That awesome, weird. I don't know what kind of um, vocals, the vocal technique they were doing with that song for the Oxa fight.
Literally have no idea what you're talking about.
It was like a heavy guitar, but it had like these like chants. Oh, I love that the songs that were being played during the Oxa fight. Even his entrance was so badass though when you just saw his glowing eyes in the fog.
I gotta be honest, I have no recollection of that either, Justin.
Uh,
Guys, I have one more thing I want to talk about. It's just something that kind of grinds my gears a little bit. I'm so fucking sick and tired of them telling me that Tanjiro is a nice guy.
no,
Like
whoa,
they did it at
whoa,
least
whoa.
4 times during this movie. I swear to God. Like they did it. They try to do it subtly, and then later on they have that boy who's like, "Your dreams were just so beautiful. Like you're so nice,"
I
and
mean,
someone else is like, "You're so kind, Tanjiro." I was like, "I get it. I get it. I don't even hate that part about him. It's fine, but you don't need to tell me every 20 minutes to remind me."
he does have the personality of a dry puddle. I 100% get that and agree with you, but I'm not here for Tanjiro. I'm here for Zenitsu. I'm here for Inosuke.
But
Just I should be pissed off at the cheesiness that was, but I wasn't. I actually liked that. I liked that Inosuke is that pure character, which is weird because every main
You
shonen
mean
should be.
Tanjiro?
Tanjiro or Inosuke?
Sorry, Tanjiro. Like,
Inosuke definitely has dirty thoughts.
oh, of course he does. But Tanjiro, like, yeah, he's that basic, well-to-do, good character. But maybe it was just like the way it was shown in the plot. But I did like how, based on everyone else's dreams, his brain things literally showed the enemy to the core, and he felt warm in that place. And he just like he turned into Man Ray in that SpongeBob episode where he just got checks with little poodles on them.
Like I said, I'm okay with him being a nice guy, which it has been done a million times. But the fact that they just had to keep telling me I was like, okay, I just saw this and I didn't need to see it again. But
Okay,
overall,
but he is a pretty nice guy, Justin.
solid guy, but nicer than all the people I know that I'm friends with.
That's saying absolutely nothing.
Yeah, it's a low bar, but Rob, Ryan, you guys have anything else to say about this?
No, that's the thing. It it's simply serviceable, and it's an enjoyable experience, an enjoyable spectacle. But that's about it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was also prepared to because since it was so exclusive in Japan and everyone was just hearing murmurings of it, it got. I was very cautious of overhyping it for myself.
Oh, that's a great point, Ryan. Last thing before we close out into rankings is I think I also set the bar pretty high because I was kind of hyped up. I was like, man, people keep talking about this movie for the past year. I really am excited to see my first movie in a year, see this thing that has been selling like crazy, breaking box office records. And I go and I'm like, yep, good movie.
No, you didn't even think it was good. You were miserable.
Fine. It was a fine movie. That's what I
It
mean.
was a fine
No,
movie with people that I dislike.
person.
Person, singular.
I
Okay, that
was talking about Inosuke and Zenetsu too, and Tanjiro, but
no, they're great compared to the person who I went to go see it with.
That is
Oh,
incredibly
oh,
rude.
fantastic. All right, I'm done, guys. Let's go into final rankings.
Ryan, start us off
Ryan's gonna set the high bar.
because it's all downhill from there.
yeah, well, no, I look. I knew what I was walking into. It was great. I enjoyed it for what it was. Thankfully, I wasn't skewed by overhyping it for myself. I am glad I read the manga before. B tier.
Oh,
Oh, lower than I thought.
yeah. I don't feel as bad anymore.
Oh, I wasn't gonna give it an A. No way.
I thought maybe a B plus.
You've only said good things, and
Yeah, but they didn't like. They checked all the boxes, but they didn't. Not in the extreme sense.
Exactly. That is Demon Slayer. It
okay,
checks all the boxes, and that's about it.
okay, interesting. Rob, why don't we just keep going down the ladder?
Uh I mean, I was teetering between B minus and C plus because, like I said, perfectly fine, perfectly average, does everything it needs to do right. You know, B's get degrees, so we'll give it the B minus. It passes. It does very well. It's going to get itself a good job one day. Nothing spectacular.
Doing a little bit better than yourself, you might say.
Not getting a doctorate or anything, but
Maybe it'll have a duplex in Manhattan one day.
yeah, it's sharing it with Ben Stiller
Let's not carry away.
and probably Cameron Diaz, maybe. I don't know. I don't remember
Oh,
if
I was
the
thinking of.
coverage
You
of
know what?
what.
I like Along Came Polly from that era. I do.
Was that Cameron Diaz?
No, that was what's her name? Jennifer Aniston.
Ah,
What am I thinking of? Has Ben Stiller ever been in a movie with Cameron Diaz?
yes. Anyway,
You know-
my ranking.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh no, it was Drew Barrymore in Duplex. That's what I was thinking of.
I'm thinking of
Oh,
someone else. Cameron Diaz is
Wait, wait,
probably
wait.
she was
You
in there.
just
Something about
was
Mary.
directed
That's a great one.
by Danny DeVito.
that's the Cameron Diaz one, isn't it? Something about Mary.
Oh, that's a great movie.
Danny DeVito directed Duplex.
Guys, any more Ben Stiller fun facts?
Did you guys ever watch Mystery Men?
No.
It's
Mr.
actually
Mystery
really,
Team.
it's a good ahead of its time superhero movie with Ben Stiller. Go figure. And Paul Rubens. And Kel Mitchell.
Are we still an anime podcast?
Justin, what is your ranking, Justin?
I mean, you guys made me feel like an asshole this entire podcast. You guys gave me a B and a B minus. I was teetering on a C plus B minus the entire time as well. And I think in the long run, I'm gonna give it a C plus. I was gonna give it a B minus out of peer pressure, but C plus because that's how I feel. It's
So overall average is B minus.
yeah. I think it's fine. I think it's a decent movie, but it's just nothing special.
Right. We're also dealing with a fan base here that is very, very, over.
Rabid.
But you know what? I will say they're not as bad as My Hero.
I think we're going to talk about the Duplex fan base, but yeah,
Oh yeah, oh yeah, sure. The Duplex fan base.
don't go on that Duplex subreddit.
All right, let's set up a DDoS where we just go to the Duplex subreddit and post quotes from the Duplex movie.
Let's tell them we just did a podcast on Duplex and then send them this podcast. We wouldn't be lying.
We definitely wouldn't be lying. I think we talked about Duplex as much as we've talked about Demon Slayer so far.
Oh, we definitely talked more about it than we did Zenitsu.
Oh, poor bastard. We didn't even talk about him.
That is actually incredibly accurate.
It's fine. All I'll say about him is his when he awoke from his dream and he slid through the train cars with the electricity. That was cool.
Yeah, everything Zenitsu does is cool. Come on.
That's about the only screen time that he got. But Anyway, guys, let's wrap this up. If our listeners have any questions, Rob, do you know where they can find us?
I don't, Justin. I don't.
They can find us at sclasspodcast@gmail.com. And Rob and Ryan, you guys have any of your Twitters or Instagrams that you guys want to throw out there?
At sclassrob. It's very simple. But Justin, before that, who still uses email? Honestly,
Probably just me.
yeah, I think it's just you. They can just comment on the video, okay? Let's not make
That
a
might
whole
have to get.
let's not make a whole to-do out of this. And
Ryan, do you want to give your Twitter?
Sure, it's at sclassrob.
Yeah, and you guys can find our podcast Twitter at sclass_YT and also at our Instagram.
At sclassrob.
at sclassrob. Just you'll find me. We'll have a good time.
All right. Thanks, guys, so much. We'll catch you guys next time.
Glad you enjoyed it!